Alright, so just an update. So what am I putting in my beds? This one here is already prepared and planted out. Like a dragon fruit trellis, custom design that I've made myself. Anyway, this is the food forest where I put mulch down around about a year ago. The mulch is quite thick. It's broken down pretty good. I'm gonna get in here and have a bit of a look. As you can see, got beautiful black soil here. Now, it hasn't rained for a while, and it's still nice and wet. So this was going to be a food forest with just trees, but I've decided to make up sort of like a swale system. Where most of the water comes down. You might have seen from the previous videos. When it gets down to here, goes over there, runs down here, goes through here, still yet to fine tune it, and it's gonna put water down there, water down the next one, water down the next one, before it heads down to the swale system over there, which you can't really see real well, but anyway, I might be on a video. So the point we got here is we're in a subtropical area. We get very dry winters and it hasn't rained for quite a while. So what we're trying to do after years of doing different garden techniques is I'm trying to sink the water when we do get the rain. Because when we get the rain, we'll get like maybe 20-30 mils in like maybe 5 minutes, then nothing. Maybe months, maybe a week, who knows. But our winters are dry. And so far, it's working pretty good. So the raised garden bed over there, which I've had for a long time, it runs that way. Just call it, I suppose, horizontal to the actual slope of the land. That becomes a problem because when it's so dry, that will dry out so quick. So what we're trying to do is actually catch the water and soak it into the ground. Now, what we're doing over here is where I'm standing at the moment. Just quickly go, probably going the wrong way anyway. The water's coming from up there. A lot of water's coming up. It's coming through. Probably seen the last video where I've got like a makeshift gutter system going into a 1,000 litre pod, and that's going to fill up the pod. Then the overflow comes through over near the fence, fills up a hole, which are going to be ponds at the end, like a water feature. It's going to make it a bit more prettier. But it fills that up, fills this one up, comes down through here, and then from there it goes into this, which, excuse the weeds anyway, but goes through that, and then it used to run down through the wood chips over there and down to the swales. So what I've just basically done is just tapped in to get a veggie garden, and hopefully it will go, like I said before, into each swale. Each swale will fill up, and then to a certain depth, and then it will drain back down to next one. So this was meant to be a video on what I'm doing with the garden at the moment, preparing it, but anyway, we'll come back up here. So as you can see now, there's no water in it, but it's solid, like sinking in. It sinks in quite slow. When we get it, it fills up, and that's basically barring it, not barring, sinking the water into the water table. Instead of going all the way down there, it used to go over there into the neighbour's place, but anyway, at the moment, instead of going all the way down there into the creek, is now sinking into the ground and hydrating that ground with water for when it needs it. And this is the new gardening method I've sort of tried to do. So there's the other one. It's only a small one because they're actually meant to have troughs in there, which are over there. It's going to be like a water feature. Make it sort of a little bit pretty. That bit over there you'll have to keep an eye on, because that's going to actually be another garden, because I'm running out of room. I want to do potatoes and corns, even though I've got some potatoes down there. Anyway, that's another story. Well, while we're here, we'll go quickly into the aquaponics, see what's going on in there, eh? So that's my sump, as you all know, which is a big spa. Holds heaps of water. I think it probably holds about 3,000 litres, I reckon. Over here, we've got the vertical garden, which I've still got to do the plumbing for that. I have upgraded the pump, so that's going to be ready to go as soon as I get around to it. I'm basically just playing around with what the weather's doing at the moment. If it's been raining like it was in our summer for quite a while, actually. I was digging swales, so this got a bit neglected. Chili plants have been here for a long time. Probably about 5-6 year old chili plants, but anyway, I love them. Yeah. So over here's basically where I do my potting. So I get the soil down here, which I've mixed up already, which I've already used, but anyway, it's quite nice. Just basically potting mix, perlite, and cocoa fibre. Used to be peat moss, but found out it wasn't real environmentally friendly. But so, and then basically I just pot them all up on the table, bring them over here and seed them, and then from there, some more fruit trees here, which need to be planted out. Just keep me on what's going on with the weather. So probably went the wrong way, but everything dumps to here, which is the sump. Over here, got some fruit trees. Yeah, they're in soil, but they do fine. The roots get anything that's not going really well goes in there. A couple of weeks goes great with all the nutrients. Over here, I think you've seen maybe some of my shorts. I've made up basically a seed raising. As I said, I'm going backwards, so once I've germinated my seeds and that, and they need to get into the light, they come into here, and this is just flood and drain. Probably not as good as, probably gets too much water, probably flood and drains too quick. And this one here as well. So NFT, which no one likes to do, but I love it. Probably doesn't go as good as the beds here. These all still need to be planted out. This is a few years old, probably about 3 years old, I think. Eggplant down the back over there. So still needs to be planted out a little bit more. As you can see, I got a little bit of a deficiency, which I'm working on. Some plants have, some plants haven't. I'm working on it at the moment. Just go to dose today. Some iron. Actually adding worm casting, not worm casting, sorry, worm juice to it. Try to fix it. It's all the brassicas that seem to be doing it. So, and also the fish aren't really eating. Like, it's winter, I can tell because I've thrown some bit of food and they're not eating it. And they will. So in here it's just an old bed that had a crack in it. I started taking some of the rocks out to get these levels up a little bit higher to turn into my new seedling propagation area after I propagate them, which works really well. But anyway, for the cold winter we get nice days, but really shit nights. Like, no, not really shit, I suppose, depending on where you're from. We get down to about 3 degrees. Keep me out for the frost. So we got stuff growing here pretty good. The tomatoes still in here. They need to come out. But anyway, everything's growing from seed, my own mix. And it comes into here, and with the old window, which doesn't open and close great, but anyway, it I'll shut that later anyway. Yeah, it helps with the cold. When it's cold and the humidity, and when it's cold it's always warmer in here because it gets the sun, and the humidity stays in there pretty good. If I really want more humidity, I just fill the rocks up. It's got a crack in it, but it's still connected to the drain system, which is the sump. And then we've got all the lettuces. Lettuces always go good. For me, they go good anyway. Now, they don't need much in the way of nutrients, from what I found, because obviously the fish aren't eating, so it's not giving much waste, which obviously is not giving the fish food nutrients into the system. But other than that, they're going pretty good. We just, come and grab some. But you've got to remember, this all got neglected while I was taking advantage of the summer rain, which we've never had like 6 months of good rain in southeast Queensland, and therefore I took advantage of it and started digging swales by hand. Yeah, I know, probably mad, but I can't afford to get a tractor or get anyone to come and do it. So yeah, by hand it was. So this should all be booming. But anyway, we'll get back to it. It's a decent sized system. As you can see, I've fed the fish. Still not eating it. I think they ate a little bit, but I got a thermometer in there, and I think it's I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's only around about 15 degrees still. So they're silver perch. So I normally used to have jade perch, but all in all, it's not going too bad. Up here is kind of took the back burner. That's that system I was telling you about, where it collects all that water. So it collects all that water, goes down into that tank. Yeah, it looks a bit funny looking, but it holds water, so that's the main thing. When it overflows, it goes down into that and runs down, like I said, into that one, then the next one, and then flows through. And we've also got a lot of water coming through the back as well. The greenhouses, need to get back into that, fix that. Raised garden beds, which are still going pretty good. I've also need to do some more garden beds over near the greenhouse over there, because it used to be a chicken shed over there for a long time, so everything's going pretty good in there in wise of growing stuff. It's meant to be a quick video, but while we're still going, might as well go and have a quick look at the food forest. Now you have to remember that this food forest is not very old, and at the moment we are in a subtropical winter. That means we don't get any rain, and as you can see from the grass and stuff, soaking it in, as you can see it's a lot greener there than over here, soaking into the ground is keeping it green. The rest would all be sort of brown like that over there. Anyway, so the food forest is going pretty good. I should have shown you up the top where I've got my bananas actually coming out, which is pretty cool. 7-year-old bananas in the aquaponics, too many of them, and I've spaced them all out through here now. And not looking so good because of the time of year I planted them. But I haven't watered this. One bed, I think it was this one, I watered when I first planted some of the plants in there. Other than that, it hasn't been watered. And it's all going pretty good. I still need to put a bit more mulch on there in certain spots. I'm pretty happy the way it's going. I just wish I worked this out like 25 years ago. I originally gave up on the ground gardening because of water. Now we did get a little bit of a frost, which the sweet potato didn't like. But other than that, it's fine. I'm not really growing a sweet potato for the tubers, but it's more for the ground cover. Not that I need it. The mulch is very thick. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. I've diverted the water down, like I said in the last video, down to my area. I've still got to do a bit more down there. And they're big swales, isn't it? Like the rain we got didn't even get in here. See? We've got very sandy soil. And that's what that is. Hasn't been rained on because we've got no rain. We'll have a bit of a look. I haven't even done this myself, but we'll have a little bit of a look. Well, here, I'll just grab this weed and get rid of it. Get rid of it later. So it's pretty thick soil. Let's have a look. This is, look at that. Don't even have to go far. I'm already seeing moisture now. That's sand. That's our normal soil, which obviously got dug from here because it's so deep into there. Probably should have shown you a better bed, but we'll be real. And if we go in there, it's still wet. Like not wet, but like it's, see, it's good. And that's with no water, with no rain. So it works. I don't need to water this stuff. We'll go to maybe a better bed so you can actually see some of the soil, because it's all sandy, crappy soil. So it's dry here. By the way, I haven't checked it before I showed you. This is just the way it is. So as you can see, there's moisture there. And again, we do that squeeze test, it's doing it. And remember, it's sandy soil. It's a young system. So it's going to break down. Now I haven't put anything on these. This new system, which is originally like the veggie growing side of things, which is what the video is meant to be, I am adding stuff there. Probably don't need it, but some veggies, they're short term. And it's not like the aquaponics where everything's in there and you got your own system happening, and you know, you don't need to you add a few stuff. I'm not like a lot of them that add heaps of stuff to get everything 100%. I hardly test it. The fish are alive and I just go by the plants. So back to this bit, which was meant to be a part of the food forest as well. This is where the mulch got dropped down. Well, shoveled it all down originally. And so I built these beds. Everything's recycled. It hasn't cost me anything. This is the bed I'm doing at the moment. And I have forked it in, like just put the fork in. You can probably see here, just enough to let a bit of air in. I didn't need it. The fork went in so good. And as you can see here, this is just the stuff that was on top. And it's already holding moisture. Like it is hot to a degree. It's cold nights, but we're still getting like 25-degree days. So it's going to do a bit. So this has all been loosened up. Stuff from the path's been taken out and thrown in here. Yes, I know you're probably meant to wait for the wood chips to break down because they could be fucking excuse the grammar there. Could be robbing nitrogen. I know all that, but I've had them there for a long time. You have a look at some of this stuff that I'm actually taking it from. We'll just pull some down a bit. And it's been sitting there for quite a while. You see that? It's still wet and warm. Like it's pretty good. Like I'm trying to show you some of the Sicilium, which you can probably see there. It's dried up a bit because I took some out already. And this pile over here is even older. So I've had it sitting here for a year. Remember, I've taken some out of this last weekend. So we get some of the fresh stuff. See that? Now this is the stuff you want in your ground. How cool is that? So she's breaking down. And in a big mulch pile like that, she breaks down really good. So don't worry if it takes you ages to get it going. like, you know, with me, I'm not well, so I just do stuff where I can do it. I might work really hard for a day, it might be stuff for bloody 2 weeks, but I'm changing the way I'm doing my gardening. As I said, been doing aquaponics for about 15 years because of the problem with of water, not having enough water, and yeah, you have water, so you look at alternative situation, and aquaponics was it for me, and it worked really good. So now I'm reinventing the way I'm doing my ground stuff, and like we had 6 months of good rain, which we never have. Sometimes we have like I've been here 22 years or something. So I've got a lot of stuff planted. Dragon fruit, you're probably thinking, what the hell are you doing with this dragon fruit? I could not justify spending like 20-30 bucks per dragon fruit. And the work involved. So I've done this. I've had this piping here, which is quite thick in the middle of the wall. It's like old water pipes they used to use years ago. So basically, I'm using that as the frame. They're all hammered in about 1 metre into the ground because they're quite long. So I've hammered them all in, and basically done used that as a frame. Screwed them all into the bottoms down there. Tried to get it a bit more level. I'm not being 100% level, which doesn't need to be. Used the stuff that I had in the actual beds to put back into the new beds after I scraped off the wood chips that have been there sitting there for nearly a year, and that's where I'm at here at the moment. And then what I'm going to do is, which is what I've done over here, apart from this sugarcane mulch, which obviously this rotted out hay worked out, seemed to be holding the moisture a little bit better than this sugarcane, but sugarcane's meant to be alright. So what I'm doing is I'm using, per bed, not much, I'm using 2 bags of mushroom compost per bed. Like, it's a pretty big bed. It's 5 foot wide, and I know I'm going from foot to meters, and around about 4.3 meters long. Then I'm using cheap ass potty mix, and then I'm using 2 bags. Oh, I should have 2 bags. Of a premium, apparently premium, so basically a manure of poultry, so it's a poultry compost sort of kind of thing. So 2 bags of them, actually, sorry, 1 bag of them, 2 bags of them on this, and 2 bags of this. Then I've got, probably saw one of my shorts where I was burning that stump, which took a long time, by the way. And I'm adding this into the base, which I'm going to add first. And then I'll head up here. How you going, dogs? Going to add a little bit of organic rooster booster as well. If you can see it. If you're in Australia, you might be able to find it. That's from Bunnings. Then using about 1/4 bag of rock minerals on that bed. Then I'm using blood and bone, which is, I'm not sure, you might call it bone meal in Yankee land, I don't know. And then in there is, if I can open it, ash. So just ash off from the fire. And then I'm also going to grab a little bit of Epsom salts. Not much. Probably use the rest of that little bag in that bed. Not much, because as I said, I mainly use the actual plants to tell me what's going on. But after this, I won't be putting anything in this anymore. That'll be the end. It'll be like no more adding man-made stuff unless the plants say, hey, you need this or you need this. Apart from probably worm juice, because I've got like a little worm farm up in the house. This is the part of the garden bed where I've basically peeled back some of the actual mulch, and I've planted my zucchinis in there. Now this, as I said, it's like 25, 26 degrees out here, so they've only been transplanted not too long ago. Actually a couple, maybe 3 days ago on the weekend. So I've used that bed because this is all meant to just be food forest, just fruit trees, and I always knew I'd just plant the stuff into it, and like vegetable wise. So this is basically my zucchini bed. So it hasn't got a frame or anything like this up there, not at the moment, probably won't have. And then I've just dug into it because we're on a bit of a slope. So I've dug into it and got these, which are going to act as swales. So basically, if we get heaps of rain, all in like 5-10 minutes, which we do, it's going to fill all that up, and I'll come back out in the rain and level it out a little bit. I did make an A-frame, but I've never actually used it yet. So as you can see here, we've got some vines growing, which I probably may end up going up the top. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the dragon fruit at this stage. And I've kept the actual level all the way down, like not a level, like a driveway, enough to get me right on around. Because I'm not, as I said, I'm not well most of the time, so I'm not going to wheelbarrow stuff for a long way. I've done that years ago. I've got this cheap old ride-on that I fixed up because I'm a mechanic by trade, so I can fix things. So cheap old ride-on I bought for like $200, saves me like $300, maybe $400. Tows the trailer around, and then the ride-ons, which are up there, which yeah, and then so I've made it all the way across. That stuff it'll be moved out. I just trimmed this tree here, so I can get all the way around, come through here, drive through there. That pole there needs to go back onto this bed over here, but anyway, drive through all the way, so I can just go like that, in, around, back out again, all the way up the top. Probably making this dizzy with my hands, but this is something I really need to get going. But I'm not too worried about it, because remember, aquaponics have got the water. It's not like I've got to get this going and happening because spring's coming, and you know what I mean. Aquaponics, they're bred in water. They've got access to the water constantly, so it's basically like feeding them constantly. So anyway, we'll probably call it a